that they have dear viewers of Smart 24 TV, we are going to review this program of The Point, and my name is Dr. Joseph Tindeba. We are blessed to be with our dear guest. Thank you, dear guests, who have honored the invitation. Major retired Awik Pora, and who has a serious responsibility in the NRM as the Director of External Affairs. We appreciate for your services, sir. Thank you. Both in the civil service of the military and now in the political wing. We hope you will continue to do good for the country, and it's a pleasure to good to the leaders.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Greetings to you, viewer. As I say, we sincerely appreciate. I try to do better.
Thank you, sir. Together with us, we have Mr. Okil Dennis. He is a lawyer and a human rights activist. He has the passion to ensure that maybe the human beings are doing better in all ways, whether economically, politically, and socially. That's what I'm trying to define. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you, host, for having me. My name again is Okil Dennis. I work with Nakazi Advocates and Solicitors, Nakulabia.
Thank you so much, dear viewers of Smart 24 TV. We drive business, and our discussion on the point, we ensure that our discussion measures on how we can contribute to the improvement of economic policies that can help you outside there or create an awareness. And since Smart 24 TV, we teach, we inform, create an awareness to know whether the economic, social, and political environment you're in favors you as well to improve your livelihood. Our topic of discussion is realities of citizens' power, the citizens' power drive. You know, we're talking about business drive, but what can drive business must be the power, you know, that vibe inside of you that you say can do this. And for economic and political progress, realities of citizens' power drive, right, for economic and political progress. We have also the major question at hand this evening, dear viewers: how best to achieve the citizen demand for quick socio-economic political transformation in Uganda. Our dear guest, for a short preamble, it is yesterday when we are all aware of the constitutional address was made by the President as mandated by the Constitution at Koro grounds in the presence of members of Parliament, and basically, you know, with the Speaker, presided over by the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, Right Honorable Anita Among. Again, we are aware that in all such a kind of mandate which the President has to make a national address speech, and also we are aware, yes, this is presided over by the Speaker, all that those are issues of the law. We then go to our Constitution, mandates also the citizens. We are looking at the other side, the President. We are looking at that's the head of cabinet. We are also now in the event of the just recently declared state of national address, the members of Parliament, the representatives of the people, and with the Speaker also has the mandate to execute his duty and role. But again, the same Constitution grants citizens what is their responsive, you know, the role to play, the responsiveness of citizens. And most of you are viewing us, you are my fellow citizens, and we are also here as your fellow citizens. We look at, for the time being, what the country comes to aspire for is a transformational society. We mark what has ever been stated by the President. There was the first, we refer to the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third industrial revolution, and the fourth, and part of which is referring to how, you know, the citizens can, a population which is covered with the money economy and no longer with the ancient way of doing things, because we had like the first revolution we were dealing with the barter trade. All of this is aiming at the improvement of the socio-economic well-being of the people. the progress that Uganda deserves. It has been echoed by different policy analysts and government stakeholders. Having a middle income status as a country whose economic growth is desirable even better than Kenya, that is far better than us now in 2023, but maybe because of different factors that we will also look at. We don't only put this as our responsibility, only the policymakers. And we are today discussing, dear guests, that the citizens have a role to play. We also look at what might be the challenges why the citizens are not steering up this third and fourth revolution, industrial revolution, to realize the vision of the country. Our dear guest, it's a pleasure to welcome you, and with us, Major Retired Awil Pora, where you have reached and where you maybe, before this country were older than me, and where you're going to. I wish you are going to achieve this dream of transforming our country to a better political and economic stable country that is in accordance to our vision. You have a lot to share with us. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you, Doctor, and thank you, my colleague, Council. You did tell Council I'm also a council. I don't take offense because I'm a long list of titles, so even myself sometimes I forget titles. For example, when we talk of human rights, I think I'm much more of a human rights expert than a young man or my young son. So anyway, title aside, I was just saying it as a sense of humor. Titles are there, but we're not slaves of title. No. You were asking whether or not we shall achieve that, whether the current generation will make us achieve that.
And whether the citizens are doing what it takes.
Yeah, the citizens are doing, and we of course need to do more. But just to say whether or not we achieve is that data so far is indicating that the per capita income that is needed to qualify a country to be a middle income country, we have achieved it. Budget is going to be read in a week's time or so, and by the time that budget is read, or now currently, we have that data. Now, I'm also told that you have to maintain that figure for 3 years for you to be declared a middle income country. But regardless of the declaring officer, or whoever sits somewhere in Washington and declares, for us it's not an issue.
Okay.
For the issue is that we have achieved that, and it should be reflected in the welfare of the people. It shouldn't be a data for economic records, but should be data which is seen in the welfare of the people, in the welfare of how people eat, how people sleep, what kind of houses that is, how people are healthy, whether children go to school and what kind of school. So the data should be transformed to reality. As to whether we have declared middle income or not, that is another debate for another day. But the facts are showing that we have reached there. Now, the role of the citizens. Of course, citizens play a lot. I don't know whether you have drawn your attention to this drafting in the Constitution. The Constitution provides two things, and people read in passing. The Constitution provides that land belongs to the citizens. Okay? But the Constitution provides that power belongs to the people. People sometimes read it as if it means the same thing. One belongs to the citizens, one belongs to the people. So there's a difference between the people and the citizen. Yeah, so meaning that for land ownership, it's more restricted to land to be owned by foreigners. But for power, it belongs to the people. So if you talk of the power then to move forward the economy, it belongs to the people. So governments are just there to set enabling environments. Of course, nothing happens out of the blue in a sovereign country. In a sovereign country, there are very, very few situations where you have what is called the lacuna. Lakota means there's no law governing. Even if there's no law governing, there must be a policy. But in most cases, policies have to be upgraded to law for enforceability. So the state does that, but the people have the original jurisdiction to move things forward. How do they move things forward? One, by demanding from government what should be done. Because the government is a formation of persons, they also have a brain. Not just a government like NRM comes up with policies and even manifestos. First, the people, for a party like NRM to come up with a manifesto, it must be people demanded, or demanded, so that manifestos are drawn in accordance to the aspirations of the people. So the people are in the center. Two is that the people themselves must be productive, because the economic drive of the development rests purely on production. We have production in terms of service and goods, but whether you are producing service or whether you are producing goods, it's a responsibility, it's your duty. And for that, even if you look at the constitution and the national state objectives principles, it puts clear what as citizens we ought to do. It's an overarching binding obligation on us. But we are the engine. We are the driving force. So as I said earlier, the driving force in terms of demand, the driving force in terms of production, all this brought together gives us the power to move the engine. It makes the people of any move. So the government is simply a superstructural institution that organizes the people. It sets in there for rules and safeties so that people act responsibly. Between me and you, between me and him, that is what it is. And the government will come to organize it. So we must know therefore that the people are in the center and the engine of any development. Even what I was saying, the middle income and all that. And so the people are always in the center of it all.
There's something about it before I take it up to the next level. For the citizens, and as you say, there's a difference between citizens and people. But now we are talking to the viewers in whatever capacity. Let's refer them both as citizens and the people, maybe.
Of course, the people may be the citizens plus non-citizens.
Right.
For example, when they say power belongs to the people, it means that it means if there was a Turkish citizen in an LC1, he should have a say in what belongs to them in that LC1 as a person, okay? But not the same with land. One let's say Shimon village, and there's a Turkish national in Shimon 1 village. He's a person, he's part of the people. Power belongs to him. In other words, he has a right to know that we need this hygiene here, we don't need this insecurity here, we need this road to pass through this path. Decisions of the people. So that is what power belongs to people. In respect to the citizenship. That is what the means that power belongs to the people. The people there.
Thank you so much. And equivalent with the governance of the NRM, and we are interested to hear more before we go to my brother and the council. The socio-economic transformation of Uganda, the middle income status. You've made a very critical statement, which is not as maybe badly critical, but yet it is positively critical. And to the affirmation of the citizens or the viewers who are viewing, and listening, the indicators of a transformed society, a middle income status where we are as a country, and basically also to look at what remains a challenge. Because before, the citizen that they're demanding food. And also, before they demand, maybe they have what they have to appreciate. Because before I demand another cup to fill here, in its instance of humanity, I'm supposed to first appreciate maybe the one who brought this cup. Whether it had something or nothing. And then thereafter I say, oh, my dear, maybe the one who's serving us. May we add in more? So what should citizens appreciate to have been done to where we are? Because this discussion came at a time when we were hearing, we have had good speeches, and from rightful person, this way the head of the state, which is also promising a good situation. But outside there, people are saying there is a bad situation. They are saying, number one, those who are rich are fewer than those who are poor. The poor are becoming many who are not affording to buy soap in the market. They are saying, I'm giving you for a garden which is not far from what you know, by the way. They are saying that reports of those who are stealing government resources, these are the citizens, in terms of demanding accountability, they are saying according to them, either directly through media or newspaper or information available to them, government resources are being taken by a few individuals favored. 10 billion year contract is gone. And in this debate, that's why we generated this debate saying, what is the citizen power to make maybe a turnaround of what should be done? Because in this case, they are saying they have heard of situations where the public expenditure is increasing every other day, supplementary budget, and a year while one is not affording medication, and here that someone now is going to buy a vehicle of 2 billion. So now there is a kind of some questions, and a good thing you are here indeed representing the ruling party, of which some citizens are asking questions and demanding answers.
Okay, now you ask what should be appreciated. There are so many things to be appreciated. I can sum them up in that the overarching environment provided. For example, you cannot talk of this production, you cannot talk of even this demand for anything if we don't have peace. We know that there's peace now, the peace which is the absence of war, or peace which is the absence of criminal insecurities like shooting people in their houses. So we have peace. That is one thing that should be appreciated. The other thing that should be appreciated is the other infrastructural development like roads, which is there, and you very well know that we have tried to have the roads. Nearly every border point of Uganda is connected by tarmac. When you're going to Sudan, you're going to Congo, you're going to Kenya, you're going to Rwanda, you're going to Tanzania, whichever it is, we are not connected. Of course, we need much more. So this is an appreciation. The other time I was saying, a research was done a few weeks ago which was showing every 48 minutes a human being dies in the whole of Africa, and this included Ethiopia, Somalia and Kenya, and they attributed it to political governance, poor political governance. I was keen to hear whether Uganda would fall among them. Uganda was not. So we have this insecurity. Yeah. And that death was mainly famine. And the famine is associated to poor governance. So we have enough food, we are eating, we have never run out of food, and so that is yet to appreciate. So another thing to appreciate is unity. I mean, we are here, we could be formed states in the European standard. Under our constitution, we have 65, I think, what is called indigenous communities. Indigenous communities means communities which were there as by 1st of February 1926. That was when Uganda, the current shape, took place. All many of us are living together. We should appreciate that. Remember, since we got independence, how many countries have ceased to be countries? India is broken into two. So many. So there are things that we take for granted. The fact that we have cohesively existed. You have countries in Europe which are 27,000, Liechtenstein, 5,000 Andorra. So that a lot, the fact that we are together gives us a lot to appreciate. So that's about appreciation. You talk of the demand that they demand, you have to mention, you demand accountability. You demand, people should demand much more. And that is why for us, like in NRM, we even have a 24-hour line called free in call phone, because we know the people should consult us, the people should ring us, people should tell us what they want. So you have better, you have to demand for more accountability from your legislators, accountability from NRM, because we are the ones who derive the manifesto and we elected on the ground of that manifesto. And I can assure you, we have a 24-hour phone call in.
Thank you. I'll be coming back to you, and at that point we shall make more kind of, want to improve to be best. Because the accountability part, we look at it, there are a number of areas which will demand for social services, demand for accountability. Just regrettably, there are some of the insightful discussions I will drive you to, and which reviewers will want to know. Because here, in what we are intending to do, it's a patriotic discussion that is aiming at even where there might be something wrong to ensure that it's corrected. And where there is something good, it is appreciated. Please, you are welcome on the table for giving your opinion, sir.
Thank you, Major, and thank you, Doctor. Mine, I will be a little bit deviate from Major, because Major has advanced a lot of things which I did capture, and I call them fanciful theories, because we have been hearing this. I studied, I finished. Major is older than me, and actually he might be my dad. My dad. So we have seen these things, and I call them fanciful theories. And Major is talking about peace, but when you Google about the countries which are peaceful, Uganda is not a mark. It's not a mark. I don't know which peace is Major talking about. So, and if we have peace, we will be hearing the killings. The recent attack on General Katumba. The killings, the judicial killings which we are facing in our country. So, however much we attribute the peace, as Doctor said, as the Major said, that it is a NRM, we still there is insecurity, and when insecurity is in the country, trust me, the social, economic and political development cannot be realized.
Cancer, I'm going to go point by one, because
yes,
to the viewers, indeed we want to drive every point home.
Yes.
Concerning peace and security, there are countries which have examples, because I want you to substantiate, maybe to understand it better than either I'm trying to make this observation.
Yes.
We have countries like what you mentioned, countries like Southern Sudan.
Yes.
And he said that Southern Sudan, you know very well, at least you read around, when we have it was one unified Southern Sudan, it got divided, but under serious tense, civil strife, which, if you remember the death of Garanga, then the coming in of the current president, and even more other fights which were there when we had the Road Resistance Army, and by that time what was Northern Uganda. Of course, there is where we say here there is something to witness, that there's something, maybe step taken. Then I want to make a bit of observation, and he will come in.
Okay.
I just want to make a bit of observation to guide our discussion. Then we have had also issues of when we had the ADF. ADF were the killings which happened in Western, the Stramba, burning of the institute. Then the refugee problem in DRC, when you see most of the time the refugees being about here. Of course, the cause is another thing, but the management of such a civil strife, what DRC has passed through and what we have gone through, I do also observe that there is a certain either input the government has done to maintain the security of the country. Then of course, there are other conflicts which are never existed here, the internal issues which I understand you've mentioned. The one when we had, of course, those of the panga welders. Then there was another time when we were about to have the scuffle here, when you are like, including you are going to high court, and all of a sudden, guy comes and just, bless himself.
Yeah.
And it has begun to happen.
Yeah.
And currently I'm not hearing those reports.
Yeah.
So to me, don't you think those are signs that really we should identify as a sign of violence?
Now, doctor, when they talk about peace, I think Major would have categorized and gave it a certain percentage. But when they say we are peaceful, it goes back to the root. Like, how are we peaceful?
You began to give us percentage how we are not peaceful now.
Because I appreciate the security we do have.
Yes.
We do have, but we are still not secure. Yeah, we are still not secure. So, and remember, we cannot achieve this socio-economic and political development if we still have these wrong things, this insecurity thing in it. If we have a small thing, if a youth in the village there would rear his goat and delivers, he exchanges it and gets a cow, and through that we shall not be having poverty. But now, take a look. I rear my goat in the village. When I wake up in the morning, they have taken it. You get? Or you raise police at that night. Then they ask you, how are they? Which type of machines are they carrying? Etc. And most of the times when you go out to report these things, our people fear. They think when you go to police, you remain there. Because of that, the relationship which has not been built between the security agencies and the citizens of our country, Uganda. Now, then I did highlight something again about the roads. NRM has done roads. Yeah, I appreciate. Has done roads, and they are good. But those feeder roads, a farmer who is in Nakaseke, I think there's sometime I was watching news and people were rioting in Nakaseke because of poor roads. Police went there and the car got mechanical problem. The car got spoiled as it was also trying to leave the place. So still, however much NRM has done a lot, we still need more because it is a bigger government. And if these feeder roads are created or are developed, trust me, people are going to be rich. Because now, because of poor roads, you find someone they are buying this cabbage at 200 shilling, which would have gone at 1,000. You get? So the buyer will be like, no, the transport is very hard. So I cannot buy at the price which you want. So through that, still our farmer there who wakes up every morning to go and dig, still will be earning a peanut at the end of the season.
So I'm coming to you on one point, and it looks to be major something to say.
Yeah.
But I'm again taking you on my guest on a point of, in your analysis, do you think the citizens have the power to cause economic and political transformation or progress in this country? And in which way do you either encourage or in which way do you ever call for it?
Yeah, citizens have a great role to play in developing themselves economically, socially, and politically. 100%. But now our citizens, they don't even understand these things. When you talk about economic development, is a villager there understanding? When you talk about social, is everybody in the village there understanding? So it still comes back to us. However much the Constitution provides for obligations of citizens, still comes to us, the government. What has government done to involve the people?
Do you know, one second, do you know that at the sub-county level there are committed women officers who are supposed to be explaining all this?
Yes, they are there.
So do they do it or what?
No, I think they do 20%. I think they do 20%.
So there is a gap of awareness.
Yes, there's a gap of awareness.
Okay.
If you move in the village and you teach this youth that, you know what, when you grow your maize like this, you are going to get a lot. And I'm just, we are doing the farming, as we say, as Uganda, we are majorly basing on agriculture. A youth is there, digging, planting his maize, but he's not adding anything. He's not putting fertilizers, using rudimentary tools. By the time, the time of harvest, you find in an acre, someone is just getting 2 bags of maize. Yet he has spent more than 4 months in the process. So still comes back to government. However much citizens are interested in everything, interested in being rich and developing socially and economically, still the government has to lay the ground. Now I'll give you an example of US in the time of the era of JP Morgan, Ford, those times state had to engage the private sector. Had to engage the private sector because government cannot do it single-handedly. This thing, management of a country is big compared to managing an organization.
Thank you so much for your submission, Council Dennis Okil, and we appreciate your submission. We come here deliberately. Before you came, tomorrow we'll be having a talk which is referring to the demographic characteristics of Uganda, and 50% of Uganda. Uganda is ranked as the second youngest population, and to me as a policy analyst, we need to be engaging different category in terms of age, those of 18, those of 25, those of 30. And you who in most cases say, by this time 1970, people you are not here, that language you normally say. So the likes of Dennis also to hear what we are saying and on air so that you can know either whether there is a mismatch. But Dennis, Council Dennis is saying one of the points I captured most was lack of awareness, especially in what the citizens are supposed to do. But again, in an objective way, we were able to identify that there is what the government on the side of the government have done, but also the citizens what they're supposed to do. But I would like first hear from you, Major, or dear guest, and we'll from there note the critical areas which we believe that the citizens are concerned.
Now, I first want to respond to what the young council has said about the matter of security or the matter of peace. I think we're using the two words interchangeably. Now, he says that when I say there is peace, he goes to Google and doesn't find Uganda among the countries which are peaceful. Well, I don't know what such words they are, but we can develop our own definition of peace. We can even say, for us Ugandans, we think peace is absence of war, where there are two belligerents, okay? The actual fighting. We believe that with peace would be lack of criminality, which removes lives and property of people. So we could even say peace is sleeping. Sleeping, people sleeping in their houses peacefully. We all know that this is available, and we are doing this at the background of a comparison of the past and the present. So I don't know who is like I told you earlier, who declares us, who is the declarant that you are rich middle income.
We are going to proceed on that because indeed where this social information is, and you are very much letting the viewers to be aware, to be careful maybe of this Google information, because we will ascertain that in the next section. Please stay tuned on Smart 24 TV. We are discussing the topic of the realities of citizen power in a way to contribute to economic and political progress. See you in the next session. Thank you.
What such words did you